What's going on, guys? It's Trolloc here, and I just wanted to show you guys how I made this 1950s vintage effect for Instagram the other day. Thought it was pretty cool, and by no means am I a Photoshop expert or whatever. In fact, most of this information I just got off YouTube videos, but I figured what better way to show it to other people than to bring it all together in one form. So here we are. Hopefully you guys will learn something. So to start off, what you want to do is you just want to get rid of your background on your picture or whatever. So find your subject, whether it's you or whoever, and just cut them out. So I found the best way to cut them out would be to use the background eraser tool. So to get to the background eraser tool, you want to go to the left side, right click on the eraser tool, and then select the background eraser. Make sure that your limit is on contiguous and that you mess around with your tolerance, which is all going to be on the top bars. Make sure you protect your foreground is on as well, so that you don't start erasing parts of yourself. To find the right tolerance to not start erasing parts of yourself is just honestly trial and error. It took me a few times to figure out what tolerance was going to be good to get rid of some of the spotting on the sides and get rid of the background. But as you can see, it doesn't work very well on certain backgrounds unless you have like a solid white background. So I decided to just get rid of what I could and then come back around with the just normal eraser tool and get rid of some of the spotting. So after that, you want to, if you want, it's not really a necessity, but I decided I wanted to come out and just make some basic adjustments to the subject's face and kind of add some different textures and get rid of some of the imperfections. You can see I do some adjustments on the eyebrow, things like that. Get rid of eye bags. So if you want to do this, you can use the stamp tool. The stamp tool is going to be on the left side. To use it, click on your layer, hold Alt, and select an area of skin that you'd like to use to patch up whatever imperfection it is that you want to patch up. Once you selected that, just click on the spots that you want to get rid of, and it will overlap the selected region with that spot. It's pretty cool. To get rid of the eye bags and such, you can use the patch tool and select the eye bags out of frame. My bad. To get to the patch tool, find the spot healing tool under the color picker, right click it, select patch tool, and then just go to work basically. Once you're done with patching up the subject, you can put in your background, which is what you see me doing here. I just added a new layer and threw it in. Try and make sure that it's copyright free if you're using it for corporate purposes. Obviously you just don't want to get in trouble. So what I decided to do first is I started messing with the exposure, brightness, contrast, and vibrance tabs under the adjustment layers for the background. I wanted to just give it some more depth. I also decided to add a little bit of a blur effect to it to keep the focus on the foreground subject, even though it's not really necessary. I didn't want to do too much because it wasn't really common in old pictures to see that much blur or focus, so I just decided not to add it. You also want to try and get rid of any shadows. I was lucky that I found such a good image that really wouldn't have many shadows, and I just needed to adjust the overall lighting. But obviously make sure you're conscious about what's going on with your coloring. So to get rid of the coloring on your main subject, what you have to do is you have to click obviously on the layer that your subject is on, then go to image, adjustments, and desaturate, and then just follow the same steps that you did for the background in adjusting the vibrancy, brightness, contrast, and exposure. So once you're done with that, just add a new layer, and then this is where you want to start adding in the overlays, the actual effects. So one thing that you'll learn, or that I've learned in the past few years regarding Photoshop and its effects, are a lot of them are just images planted on top of each other. People don't actually come and make these effects. You just have to find them on Google. So the best way to find them is to just search up, for this purpose at least, vintage crease overlays or vintage dust overlays, and things usually will come up. That's literally how I found these images, and to drag and drop them in and apply them is very simple. You just add new layers, add each individual image, mess with the opacity and the blend formation, which are all going to be above your layers, as you can see on the right side. So after that, there's pretty much not much to it. You can do some basic adjustments with the colors, but yeah, that's how you guys make a 1950s vintage effect. Thank you for coming, and hopefully we'll see you next time. See you guys.